folks, welcome back once again to Harley Day Rider, your good old friend HDR. Out here once again on the handy dandy Harley Electric Glide, the 2011 Harley Electric Glide Classic. And today is, believe it or not, November the 21st, 2017. And why am I out here, might you ask? Well, well, first of all, I was watching the news this morning. They said the temperature today is going to get up to 53 degrees. I told Mrs. HR, I said, 53 degrees, that's motorcycle riding weather. I got to get the bike out and get out there. And she said, well, that's true. She said, you got all that gear now, you might as well use it. And I said, yeah, that's a good point. And I couldn't ride the motorcycle. Well, I could have. I didn't ride the motorcycle to work this morning. It was 34 degrees this morning. And you know, with the wind chill factor we talked about in the last video, that's going to really cut her down there a lot, man. Whew. You know, you'd be in the 20s. I always worry about the black ice on the road. And that's kind of, we talked about that, and I worry about that. But anyway, we talked last time also about getting these shocks, getting my mileage read, and to get the ending mileage. So that is what I am heading to do. I'm heading to the Harley dealer to get my final mileage read today. We only have until November 30th to do so, and it doesn't look like it's going to be much better weather here through the next couple weeks anyway, so they're talking about snow flurries and all kinds of stuff going on. So I thought, you know, I'm going to get out and take a ride today. So I started out, my thermometer said 52 degrees. I have all of the freeze-out gear on except the booties. I did not put the booties on today because I figured my feet will be fine, you know, around the soft lowers down there with my boots on and my socks. So I'm pretty good there. We talked about this thumb, and I don't think, somebody said maybe it's your circulation. Maybe. Ouch, I don't know. But the thumb still seems to be the coldest part of my body, so maybe it's just not getting a lot of circulation in it. I don't really know one way or the other there, but... So, with that said, how's everybody been doing out there? I haven't seen a lot of the motovloggers motovlogging lately. And, yeah, it's this time of year, I guess. You know, if you're not on the West Coast, you're down south somewhere. You know, we may not see anything new from you. That's okay. I understand it because I am from southwestern Pennsylvania, you know, so I understand that wholeheartedly. You know, just you can't get out there, and you can't get out there and ride if it's so cold out that, you know, you're going to freeze on your motorcycle seat. That would be a bad thing. So, I was talking to a few people at work today, and they said, man, they said, Harley Day Rider, you know, because they call me Harley Day Rider at work. You know, sometimes they just say HDR. They said, you're taking that motorcycle, it's really windy out there. And I said, you know what? This wind is nothing like it was when we went out west, when we were going through South Dakota over top of those mountains. And if you've ever been out that way to Sturgis, you know what I'm talking about probably. It's very clear up on top of the mountain, and there's a good cross breeze. And I swear, I still swear to this day, the day we crossed it, that cross breeze had to be anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour. You know, when you're riding your motorcycle at a lean angle, trying to cut through the wind so it doesn't blow you over, and that was fully loaded, folks, with 2 passengers, you know, so 2 passengers and a full load of gear on the back. So I said, this wind is nothing anymore. I don't even let it bother me. And I know we talked a couple of years ago, I think, on the motovlog. You can go back and look. We talked about riding in the wind. Would you rather ride in the wind or in the rain? And I was really surprised how many people out there talked about they'd rather ride in the rain. I mean, yeah, in the rain. You know, I don't know. I still like to be dry. I want to be dry, and So I don't really like riding in the rain if I don't have to. If I'm out, we do it. It's not a big deal anymore. I'm kind of used to, you know, especially if you're on a trip, you don't have a choice, right? We can't pull over and stay somewhere for 3 or 4 days because it's raining. That's for sure. But you just have to go with it sometimes. But, you know, people just don't like riding in the wind. But again, I think you have to get out there and practice riding in all conditions, folks. If you're ever going to take a trip anywhere, if you're going to be on your motorcycle for even a week somewhere, you know, we went last year for 2 weeks. This year's trip, I think, is going to be 8 days. Is what we're planning so far, is 8 days. It might be a couple extra. We'll have to see how that works into the deal. But go out and practice in some of the different weather and ride, because you're going to get caught in something and you're going to be scared, you know, or discomfort or whatever. You know, so I truly believe that you should go out and practice riding in just about every condition you can get into, except snow. You know, we don't have to be crazy about it, but you could get stuck in snow. It could happen. You never know. You're going to cross top of the mountaintop at different times of the year, and next thing you know, you're up on the top of a peak, you know, kind of like this hillside, but much higher elevation, of course. And there's snow on the ground. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to camp out until spring? Nah, you're going to find a way to get through it, right? So, I've ridden in snow. I've ridden in ice storms. And I was much, much younger. Okay, probably much, much more stupider. As we get older, we realize that our bones are very brittle, right? So we can break them a lot easier. But when you're younger, hell, you just get out there and do whatever you want. So yeah, anymore, I don't see me riding in an ice storm or snow. You know, when you're riding with your feet down on the ground, you know, just to give yourself some more traction, you probably shouldn't be riding. But at that time in my life, I told you guys, I think we talked about that, that's all I had was a motorcycle. I was married. We'd go out in the middle of winter for groceries, and be able to get groceries and stuff in the middle of winter. You have to do what you have to do, right? I mean, that's just part of life. Plus I had to go to work. I had to get to work, and I couldn't walk to work, which to me, if you're walking in the cold, would probably be more uncomfortable because it's a longer period of time than being on a motorcycle. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Alright, folks, maybe in the comments down below, let me hear some of your riding stories. We don't have to get too long-winded, but let me hear what you wrote in before, you know. Somebody posted once on that last video, I think they said, what is the coldest I've ever ridden in? And I think I responded by saying, I think it was 35 degrees is the coldest I've ever ridden in. I mean, outside of years ago, I mean, recently 35. I mean, I guess that was a wrong statement, because back then when I rode in the ice or snow, I mean, it could have been -5 and I was out there riding. I mean, not to ride to enjoy it or anything, but I rode. I mean, I had to get somewhere, had to get to work. So, I don't think my boss would have been too thrilled about calling off saying, huh, it's cold outside, boss, I can't come to work today. Yeah, I don't think he'd be too thrilled. Who knows? So many moons ago. Not like today. Well, I guess I'm rambling on. I guess that must be about saying that this needs to be the end of this motovlog. I need to cut it off here. We need to get kicking out of here. I'm about, I don't know, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes from the Harley shop. The only thing I can tell you about riding in the cold, and if you are starting to get older, plan out your pee stops. I think that's pretty critical. You don't want to go too far, because you're going to be definitely peeing a lot more during the cold weather, because the cold air, you know, hitting the body. And just what it is to be older, I guess. Alright, everybody, on that happy note, take care. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you celebrate that with friends and family. And we'll be celebrating with our family. We already had one Thanksgiving with my son because it was my grandson's first birthday last Saturday, so he wrapped up a Thanksgiving dinner and the birthday party all together. It was a really, really wonderful day for everybody there. We had about 20 some people there. So yeah, spend it with your family, enjoy each other out there. If you get a chance, get their motorcycles out there and take a little rip, as Sean Smoke would say. Sean Smoke would also tell me to buy a new pair of shocks and quit being so cheap. Alright, we'll talk to you next time. Harley Day Riders going to be down and out once again in the beautiful 52 degrees southwestern Pennsylvania. Bye-bye for now. Now remember, I can't leave yet. Ride your own ride and be safe out there. I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye for now.